2021 Science Summer Workshop, Bridging the Gap. It's chemistry. We are so elated to be here at the beautiful Adventure Learning Center where the resources of God is truly evident, isn't it? Yes, and we just give God thanks for this awesome opportunity to come together as educators to just explore His beautiful creation. Can we all stand as we open up in a word of prayer? Let us pray. Father, we thank you for this awesome day. We thank you, God, for your presence that's already here. I ask that you will bless all of our educators that came from near and far, Father God, and teach us, oh God, and just inspire us as teachers, dear God, to bridge the gap, oh God. Give us the wisdom and knowledge that we all will need to help our students to succeed. We give you all thanks, praise, and glory. In Jesus' name we say, Amen. Amen. You may be seated. You may be seated. Like I mentioned, from the creation of time, God created the universe. And can someone tell me, what do you think that He garnished the earth with? It begins with C. Chemistry. Very good. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And so we know that chemistry is a branch of science where we study matter and everything that can actually happen doing matter. We all know that matter is what? Anything that has what? Mass and takes up. Great. So all around us is matter. Very good. You and I are matter. Very good. And so we're going to explore today, and we're going to think, and we're going to really dig deep into this chemistry and how we can implement it into our classrooms. Now, today I have such amazing colleagues who are going to help me to present. We have 3 amazing facilitators, and they hail from various districts in the Bahamas. And so our first presenter today, one of my presenters who will be presenting with me, is our very own Pascal. Linda Pascal from the great E.P. Roberts Primary School. We also have Mrs. Ronnie Curry hailing from the great T.G. Glover Primary School. And we have Ms. Latia Johnson from Columbus Primary School. And yours truly, Mrs. Lakia Brown from the awesome, magnificent Sadie Curtis Primary School. You know, I had to pick it up a little, go. All right, so today we just invite you all just to come with an open mind as we navigate through this whole explorative excitement and all of the hands-on activities that science can bring. So coming now to just give us an overview of what Science Day is all about, what this workshop entitled, is our very own Latia Johnson. Let's welcome her. She comes.
Now, we have had a really trying time this past year. How many of you agree this has been a year unlike any other year? Yes, very good. All because of this pandemic called COVID-19. And so this pandemic has created a lot of gaps in our educational system. Not that we didn't already have gaps, but now we have a whole lot of challenges that await us when we return in the 2021-2022 school year. And so this research is going to assist us with ideas and strategies on how to bridge that gap in learning, especially as it relates to science. During this presentation, we hope that as our watching audience and our live audience would learn a few things, including the gaps created by the 2020-21 academic school year, examine the Sustainable Development Goals which support and relate to knowledge and skills inclusive of bridging the learning gap. Examine the 5 learning gaps in current education practice, and analyze creative teaching and learning strategies which support and bridge the gap in science. So when we say gap, what are we talking about? What is a curriculum gap? A curriculum gap is where we are now. We all know that when we return to class, we have a group of students, whether it's preschool, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, grade 4, up to grade 6, and that's where we are. But they are not there, and that's where we want them to go. So before we dive into the 5 curriculum gaps, let's look at the Sustainable Development Goals as it relates to education. The United Nations came up with 17 Sustainable Development Goals in the year 2015. These goals were a blueprint to achieve better and more sustainable future for all. This is a 15-year goal plan, so set up in 2015. That means they hope to achieve these goals by 2030. Now, as teachers, we do not have control over achieving all of these goals. But as you can see, goal number 4, quality education, we got that, right? Yeah. We could handle that. Clean water and sanitation. Can we educate our students towards clean water and sanitation? Yes, yes, that's science. Climate action. Yes. That's science. Life on land. Yes. Life below water. Yes. Because it's all chemistry. Yes. So now let's look at those 5 curriculum gaps that we'll be focusing on today. The first gap we'll look at is student engagement, lesson design, lesson preparation, lesson delivery, and school culture. So let's take a closer look at student engagement. Now I want you to pay close attention to this screen, to this little boy sitting here, because he represents a lot of the students in our class. How many of you have stood in front of your class or even walked around and looked at the faces of those students looking back at you? They may appear eager to the untrained eye, but our teacher eyes can see that those eyeballs are distant, they're looking and they look like they're listening to us, but they're not. As you can see, this boy is imagining that his desk is a dinosaur, and he's taking off on that dinosaur. So when students sit passively in class, their minds wander. They're thinking about what they watched, what YouTuber they were watching last night, what television show they were watching, what they had for dinner, what they're going to eat lunchtime, who they're going to play with. And so how can we engage our students? I have 2 advice for you. The first is to use technology wisely. So that would mean interacting with students with technology. So our sessions today, you will learn about 5 different strategies where we use technology effectively. And second, using educational norms. Academic engagement norms, sorry. Academic engagement norms just means while we are presenting, because direct instruction has its place, we have to give the information, right? So while we are presenting, that entire time students aren't just listening, they're responding in different ways. How can they respond? We may say, point with me. We may say, repeat after me, and we all do this, right? We do this already. We may say, read with me. We may gesture. A lot of teachers, we love to use our hands, certain words, washed away. These are academic norms that keep students engaged instead of just imagining their desk is a dinosaur. Let's move on to our second gap. And that gap is lesson design. Now, I want you to watch Sheldon very carefully. Sheldon is throwing that paper. That means we should throw out the textbook. We shouldn't build our lesson around worksheets, textbooks, and the quiz that we're trying to give. Our lesson should instead be built around a clear objective, activation of prior knowledge, skills practice, ways to establish relevance. How does this relate to the student? How does it connect to them? Closure to demonstrate activation, or we call that assessment. And very importantly, we've said it over and over, teaching of the academic vocabulary. We must talk science. We must not hide those words from them. Gone are the days when we used to talk to babies, hey, how you doing, and using those baby language. Now we use clear language because we know they are learning what we say. So if we pronounce the words wrong or we don't pronounce it at all, they won't learn it, the babies won't learn it. The same goes with our students. If we do not give them the words, they will not learn it. So we will not say, oh, look at that plant. We would say, look at that flowering plant. Look at that angiosperm. Let's move on to gap number 3, lesson preparation. Now let me see a show of hands. How many of you have spent 12 a.m., 1 a.m., 2 a.m. preparing lessons? All hands up. We spend all day doing the countless paperwork and registers and statistics and all the millions of things we have to do. And so lesson preparation gets pushed all the way down to those wee hours of the morning because we really have too much to juggle. That's a well-known fact. Teachers are juggling too many things. And so how can we combat this plague? As teachers, our list of responsibilities seem endless. And so what we must do, collaboration is key. Say it with me. Collaboration is key. We must collaborate with each other. Why are we working hard? We have other members in grade 4, other teacher friends. We're making friends right now in different schools teaching the same subject. We're all in our own little corner preparing these magnificent lessons, burning ourselves out, where one of us can take social studies, one can take science, and we can collaborate. So let's work smartly this school year. Our 4th gap is lesson delivery. So now we've spent all hours of the morning preparing that lesson, and now it's time to deliver. But we have those blank stares and we're using our academic norms. Sometimes we don't even get to that lesson preparation. So how can we overcome this gap? Sometimes it's best to try something new. And we're afraid of that new thing. Although we were thrust into those new activities, we are now accustomed to doing new things. But I feel some of us may still step a bit back because we're back in person and we don't need the quizzes and the blue kid and the Kahoot anymore, dare I say. But if we continue to practice it, it will become a norm for us. So let's go on. Let's repeat. Repetition is key. Say it with me.
Repetition is key.
Say it again.
Repetition is key.
See what I did there? Repetition. All right, and the last academic gap, school culture. Now, we all know that in order for us to be excellent, we have to have a culture of excellence at our school. We can be doing our best in our little classroom, but if it isn't a shared vision, it almost feels like our work is in vain because those students are going to go on to another teacher who's not going to push like you did, who's not going to drill like you did, who's not going to try new things like you did. And so what we need to encourage when we get back to our individual institutions is an atmosphere of excellence across the board. Common language, common tools, common vision. And that comes from sharing our ideas. In conclusion, well-engaged classrooms, well-crafted lessons, well-prepared teachers, well-taught lessons, well-implemented school vision creates a bridge in that academic gap. So let's bridge that gap in science. Coming now is Miss Lakia Williamson-Brown, who is going to begin to show us what some of these things mean as it relates to the gap, those engaged lessons, technology, So please welcome her as she comes.
All right, so this, we're so used to wearing our masks, right? You guys can hear me better now?
Yes.
Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. So, like Ms. Johnson said, it's important that we bridge the gap, right? And one of those ways we know that we have to bridge the gap is through being what? Curious. So this session is called The Mystery of M&M. Who loves M&Ms? Who wants an M&M? Okay, well, like students, if you participate and you interact, I have a treat for all of you at the end of it. Are you excited?
Yes.
Awesome, good. So, yes. So the mystery of M&M. So in this session, I want us to use a skill known as making inferences as well as creating your own hypothesis. As scientists, it's very important to know that you have the right to explore. I don't know about you, but as a mama, it's important to allow your kids to explore. Once they explore, they're going to remember it better. They're going to be able to retain the information. So today, you're going to act like Inspector Gadget. You guys remember that creative cartoon back in the day? Yeah. Inspector Gadget. Doop, doop. Okay, good. So you're going to act as Inspector Gadget. So in your mystery boxes, you have some instructions. So you're going to work together, like Ms. Johnson said. You're going to collaborate together. You're going to work as a team. And you're going to complete the task that is in your mystery box. When you are done, you're going to come together and going to collaborate again, and you're going to determine what you think the topic represents in your mystery box. So you have it's a two-part thing you're going to do today. You're going to do your hands-on activities as well as you're going to make your educated guess as to what you think today's topic as it relates to your mystery box is all about. Are you ready? Are you ready? Yeah. Okay, on a count of 3, I want you to come together and I want you to begin the mystery challenge, okay? 1, 2, 3. You may begin. Work together. Remember, teamwork makes the dream work. So you have to get up, get that task done. You only, the instructions are right there on the paper. The instructions are there. So read your instructions. Read your instructions. Get involved, get involved. I want to see everyone getting involved. Remember, as scientists, we have to estimate sometimes. So I encourage you to use all of those scientific skills. Come on, team members. I see you guys looking good. You're looking good. Let me see who's going to win this M&M. These M&Ms I want to freely give out. Ooh. Add some more. We want to see something exciting to happen. My group 3 is on the roll. They are on the roll. Remember, as you're making your observations, you're also talking amongst yourself, and you're going to try to come up with a hypothesis or an educated guess as to what the topic is today as it relates to your group assignment. Group 4, you good in the back there? Awesome, awesome, awesome. You can do it. The creativity is endless. You gotta be something. Y'all gotta be lower primary A. Yeah, y'all creative. I love you guys. Creative bunch of educators. I love what I'm hearing. I love what I'm hearing. How is it going? Awesome. Be careful, your computers in this water. All right, group 4. I'm hungry. I'm hungry all of a sudden. But remember, as scientists, you don't eat inside the lab, so I wouldn't want to eat. Yeah. Awesome, awesome. All right, once you're done with the task, you're going to fill out your chart. Okay, right now we should be almost wrapping up with our mystery challenge and filling out our chart, okay? You have 3 specific questions to answer. Remember to collaborate and to work together as a team. The creativity. I wasn't giving on the spoon. I gave the wrong group the spoon. How's it coming? Awesome. All right, you have 20 seconds. So with these activities, I'm sure you can start to think now about how you could actually implement these into your classroom from lower primary level all the way up to grade 6. So don't be afraid to allow your older students to still have that time where they can explore using their hands, you know? All right, 10 seconds. In 10 seconds, I want one person from each group to stand and give us their hypotheses as to what they think that their mystery box topic is all about. Remember, there's no wrong hypothesis. That's what I love with science. You're never incorrect until you are proven wrong, right? Okay. All right. I'm going to call one representative from group 1 to stand and have them make an educated guess as to what they think that their mystery box topic is all about. Group 1, are you ready? All right. Hello?
Can everybody hear me? Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Our mystery box, we made a hypothesis that it is based on physical changes. Can I explain?
Go ahead.
Okay. We had a few sheets of paper, and we were asked to make as many changes to them as we can. Now, we came to the hypothesis that it's physical changes because we know that it will still be paper, as many changes as we make to it.
All right, let's give them 2 claps. Or more. All right. I'm not going to tell you if you're correct as yet. At the end, I will. All right, group 3, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, group 3.
You gotta put the screen up.
Make an educated guess as to what you think your topic is all about.
Okay, for group 3, we came to the conclusion that our topic may be about mixtures and solutions because we had our baking soda, we added our vinegar, and we added a few drops of food coloring. So when we placed those mixtures in the jar, a new substance was formed, which is carbon dioxide, because that's what you saw when it bubbled and fizzed and it raised. So group 3, we feel that our activity is on the topic of mixtures and solutions.
Let's give it for group 3. I mean, I am just surrounded with such awesome educators. You guys are on the roll. Group number 4, let's go.
Hey, so today, we had all of these things here and we mixed up everything and we realized that we probably have a physical change going on here because even though we mix everything. We had all of the cereals, the cheese, and the peanuts. We mixed them all up, and if we realized we can go back and pick them all out and still have the same thing back. And so we thought we had, well, even though our book, we had this book, we look at the book, it said liquids and stuff, but we had no liquids here. We had a physical change going on at our table right here.
All right, let's give it for group 4. And last but not least, let's welcome group 2 with their hypotheses or their educated guess as to what they think that their mystery box is all about.
Okay, yeah, we had a lot of things going on. We had water, we had salt, we had energizer drink, we had hot chocolate. And what we did, we started to mix things together, okay? Did we make something new? Of course we did. What did we create? We did solutions and mixtures, okay? Because we were able to we made a mixture of the hot chocolate and the energizer drink. And here it is right here. Then we mix the salt with water. This is our salt water solution. And then we mix the energizer with the water. And then we did the chocolate with the water, and it did not dissolve completely because we needed hot water instead of room temperature water, so it didn't actually dissolve properly inside of the water. Okay, and our topic was matter. Okay, physical changes, and our subtopic would be solutions and mixtures.
All right, let's give it for group 2. Woo! Listen to me. You guys are so awesome. I have to sing my song for y'all. You rock. You rock. You R-O-C-K rock. You rock. You rock. You R-O-C-K rock. You guys, you rock. All right. Now, we also know that in bridging the gap, it's important, like Ms. Johnson said, that we implement vocabulary. So, to test and to determine whether you are correct, I want you to take out the pieces of unscrambled paper in your mystery box. And you're going to decode that word to determine whether your hypothesis was correct or incorrect. Look inside your container. And you're going to work together. And you're going to uncode your mystery topic. And if you are correct, I want you to stand and give yourself a tap on the shoulder. Stand if your group is correct and your hypothesis. Stand and give yourself a tap on the shoulder. This method is really good with spelling and vocabulary. It really would encourage the students to know not only the right answer, but also how to spell the vocabulary word. So you think you got it correct? I want to hear whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. All right, anybody else? Okay, let's give group 3 5 more seconds. Yes, you do. You do. All right, so let's check it out. Group 1, you were correct. You did create a physical change. Group 3, correct. Chemical changes. Group 2, solutions. And group 3, mixtures. Group 4, mixtures. Remember, a mixture is when you add one or more substances together. You had peanuts, you had cereal. Aren't they more than one substance? And you mixed them together? Yeah. So they are what? Mixtures. Mixtures can be solids or liquids. The liquid part of a mixture is also called a solution, like this group demonstrated here today. And it's also a mixture. All right? So you learned something new today, right? Hey! All right. Now, to take this lesson to another level, remember we want to bridge the gap. Remember, not all students come to your class. They may be the best speller or the best writer. You have a lot of students who are great with dancing, acting, singing. So, to take this lesson to another level, I want us now to play a quick game of charades. I want to give each group a picture that is all tied into the topic of matter, and your job is to come to the front and demonstrate using actions, and you're going to have your other participating colleagues to guess what you are acting out. Are you guys ready for that? Yeah. All right. I know my friend's an actress over here, so I know she's ready. So I'm not going to look. I'm just going to randomly give each group something. I'm not being biased. I'm just going to randomly pick. Okay. All right. So you have 5 seconds to think about how you're going to act that out for your other colleagues to make an educated guess as to what you are demonstrating. Remember, this can also be used as an assessment as well. This brings out creativity in your students. Okay? I see some eyes like, oh my gosh, what is Ms. Brown doing? You guys got that? So I'm going to randomly call a group, and then you're going to come to the front. Okay, I think I'm sensing group 3. Let's welcome group 3. Woo! Let's go group 3. The word. Come on, group 3. Creative group 3. Charismatic group 3. Innovative group 3. All right, let's give them our undivided attention. And you have to guess. You have to figure out what they're doing. Okay? When you explore something, you are creating something what? Okay, and when something new is created, we are a chemical change. Woo! Yeah, good job. Woo, woo, woo. All right, let's go. Group number 1. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Y'all got this. This is the lower primary. They so creative. I mean, like, they are just innovative educators. Group 4, get ready. You're next. Come on now, let's make some educated guesses. What's that? Say it. Matter, very good. Woo! Remember, matter is anything that has mass and takes up space. And if you were listening to my introduction, I said that even you and I are what? Matter, very good. Let's go group 4. Let's go group 4. Let's go group 4. Woo! Y'all got this. Y'all got this. The creativity. Rubber, think about solvent solution. Woo! Great job! All right. And last but not least, group 2. Let's welcome them as they come. Woo! Woo, woo. They have props and all. Great job, great job. Listen to me. Give yourself 4 big claps. So you can imagine if you are enjoying this lesson, how much more your students would enjoy this lesson. And this is a great culminating activity. After you already taught your content, you can actually bring this activity in. Now, another thing I want to share with you in Bridging the Gap. we know that we cannot run away from reading. So what I would usually do in my classroom is I would give each group a specific focus. For example, if my topic is matter, I will probably give group 1 mixtures, another group solutions. So I'll give them a passage where they're going to have to read about that specific content area, and at the end of it, each group will stand and teach the other group members what they have learned. And I find that students will remember more what their peer says more than what we say, because usually we talk a lot sometimes. So it's good for them to hear another voice sometimes in their hearing when you're teaching any lesson. And last but not least, in bridging the gap, like I said earlier, not all of our students are the best writers. However, we could bring out creativity in them in so many other ways. I'm sure you guys have used Quizlet doing this virtual learning session. Have anyone used Quizlet? Mm-hmm. And what about Flipgrid? Okay, so we know that with Quizlet, we can use it to create flashcards, where we can actually create charades, and also we can have it where the Quizlet cards actually read itself, so those non-readers, to help them with their reading. So that's another technology way that you can actually implement and help to bridge the gap. Now, Flipgrid is something that I found to be very, very interesting. It's an app where students can actually create 1-minute videos. So it tells them, okay, what time to start and when to end. So with the Flipgrid, you can actually assign this as a homework activity where they can go out in nature and actually to create a video on matter. And then it's emailed to you as the teacher, and you can actually grade it from your home. So I would encourage you to think beyond just the 4 walls. Science is creative. Science is innovative. Science is always moving. Let us bridge the gap through science by using nature, using our creativity, and bringing our hands-on experiences right here into our classrooms, right? Yeah. And so coming up is a very innovative facilitator. She's going to come with a topic called Water, Go, Go, Go. And we all know we need water, right? Yeah. And right now I need a whole glass of water because I've been talking a bit too much. So without further delay, I'm going to present to you our second presenter, Ms. Pascal from E.P. Roberts.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Earlier today, Ms. Johnson spoke about some sustainable goals. Can anyone remember any of those sustainable goals relating to water? Clean water and sanitize. Yeah, and Ms. Stora said one first, and then, so I have some prizes for us. I apologize. All right, so in preparation for my water, these straws are Bahamian made from a group called Blue Terra right here in the Bahamas, and guess what? They are made from aragonite. And we know that aragonite is found in our oceans, so courtesy of Blue Terra, a box of straws for you, my dear, and a box of straws for you. So yes, so there are several of our sustainable goals that relate to water. So let's get started. What's in your bag? All of us attend baby showers. We always become bag ready. Swan have a bag packed and ready. So what's in your bag? So this is a sort of scavenger hunt. I usually play this with my students, whether online, they would use it in their homes. They'll have to run around the house to find some things. So you have to look in your bag and you have to find for me anything in your bag beginning with the letters W, A, T, E, and R. So first person find those things. I want everything. I want all 5 of the things. Water is spelled W-A-T-E-R. If you can collaborate, look at this. How you always pull it on the baby shower too. You combine your bags. Eh? W-A-T-E-R. I'm hearing some nice stuff. You see how we building? We find all kind of vocabulary with those same little letters, things that we wouldn't even think about. And in this way, this scavenger hunt not only allows to build vocabulary, but it helps the students to be able to spell that word, that content word for that day. It helps them. I'm seeing some all kind of gum. That's gum. I don't know what this gum is because gum start with G. So let me see. Measuring tape. That's it. So we have a group over here. They ready. This table look like they went up every day. This table is winning up everything, so let's go. They are ready. Oh, now they saying, hold on, anybody else? That's how they do the baby shower too. You know, I got it, and they ain't get everything. Anybody close? We got 4. Wow. All right, so let's go. Let's share with us. What we got? That's it. You need wipes in this tie and tie. Okay, kids. Advisor's pin. Uh-huh. Oh, that's lashes. Powerful. Wow. She have a bag pack, eyelashes and all, so you know. Anybody else want to test that? Anybody? Okay, they say they ready for y'all. What we got? You remind me of my students, so they wouldn't say hand sanitizer for age. They would because it's begin antibacterial, that's what they're going to use. But if it's age, they can say hand sanitizer. So that's what you remind me of just now. So job well done. Give yourself a pat on the back. So that's a little quick thing. And for those of you who are watching from home, guess what? If your students are live on virtual, you can say, guess what? Run around the house. I had my children running around the house to the point parents was even helping them. So all the semester they running through the house looking for this, and parents had things handy. One girl, she sat close to the kitchen. Everything came out the kitchen. Onion, tomato, everything. So play it with your kids virtually or face-to-face, and you'll be amazed to see the things. And they love it. They are able to spell the words. So we're going to build vocabulary. I think vocabulary was really lacking this year. Okay, good to go. All right. So now, let's continue. H2O, what's that? We're talking about all this H2O, but what really is H2O? So H2O is the chemistry formula for water. That's something earlier today, Mr. Thor said, boy, I do chemistry in so long. That's something I think that's one of the formulas just about everybody remember from junior and high school, H2O. We ain't know nothing else. We ain't know sodium chloride, we ain't know nothing else, but we remember H2O. And guess what? It's not too early to introduce our children to these concepts. It's never too early. Integrate. You'll be amazed of who catches on to what. And that H2O is simply because that it's made up of 2 atoms of hydrogen, 1 atom of oxygen. Water is also an inorganic substance. It's colorless, odorless, tasteless. And sometimes people is like, oh, well, water all around, water is all around us. And we don't even realize it. It's odorless, colorless, tasteless. It's an inorganic substance. And it is the universal solvent. And earlier today, we were looking at mixtures and solutions and all of those things. But water is the universal solvent. And also, water is the most important compound on the earth. Everything is made up of water. The machines that used to make the desks, they had to put water in it to mix things and to get it solidified and all those good stuff. Everything is made up of water. So as we continue, how do we bridge this gap with H2O and the curriculum? So can you think of ways or topics in the curriculum that talks about water? Anything in the curriculum that talks about water, any topics in particular straight from grade 1 to 5? I have water cycle, I have pollution. Anybody else? Oh. Protecting the marine resources. Anybody in grade 2? I haven't heard of grade. Pardon me? Reducing and reusing. So we have reduce, reuse, recycle. Anybody else? And the conservation. Anybody else? Our natural resources, yes. And the ocean is one of our main natural resources. So we have straight across the curriculum, there are topics involving water. So we're going to do a puzzle. Miss Brown, can you hand out those puzzles for us, please? No, that's right there. And these puzzles, all of these are words straight across the board, from grades 1 straight to grade 6. So first person, I love puzzles. I'm a gamer. Anybody knows me know I'm a gamer. I play games. I love games. And we play for fun, for everything. I'm a gamer. So let's go. So we have some puzzles coming around. And all of these vocabulary words are words that are found straight across the curriculum. And as you are doing those, so yes, you can start, you can begin. So some of the things we did not say are things like weather, We have in grade 1 teaches the weather conditions. They talk about the rain and all those good stuff. We have straight cross in grade 2. Also in grade 1, they talk about the properties and structure of the earth, land, and water. So water is all around. So from grade 1, every child should know how to spell water. And I was in grade 4, and guess what? Some children still couldn't spell water. So that's something we need to build vocabulary, build these vocabularies, because straight across the board, they're going to be talking about these things. In grade 2, we looked at water habitats, sources of energy. And all of those water habitats are all around us. We have these little ponds where the tadpoles live. I don't see children catch tadpoles anymore. But that's a nice little water habitat. They say, no, ain't nobody got time for that no more. The mosquitoes take over the little ponds. But these are little water habitats that these kids can really get into and explore the water itself. So I think there's about 19 words. So first person to find, they rolling. I think they listening to me no more. They rolling. You listening, eh? So we have little words like rain from grade 1, snow and thing from grade 1 and 2, and then we have some bigger words like precipitation, evaporation, condensation, and all those big words, conservation. And guess what? Straight across, build the vocabulary, build the scientific vocabulary. That's something that's really lacking among our generalist teachers and science teachers alike. The kids do not know the vocabulary. And that's a gap that needs to be bridged. And these are ways that we can bridge the gaps. If you were to say, spell this, they may not be able to. But if you put it in a puzzle form, I know I got to find P-R-E-C-I-P all together in a row to finish off my precipitation. And guess what? They're able to spell it. Build those gaps. Put them in interactive games. Basic games we use. We so used to technology this year. Everything was technology. But when they come in the front of us, what are we doing? These hands-on things. And guess what? Puzzles can be used across Zoom as well, because I utilized it on Zoom, and the kids loved it. They were able to use the annotator, because there's a feature that uses the highlighter where the letters still can be spelled. And they was in competition, boys against girls, and they was at it. And then when they finished, they would test me, or Miss Pascal, all us against you, and I would still beat them in finding the words. But guess what? It can be utilized virtually or face-to-face. These are real practical things that I personally do in my classroom that I think that, guess what, all of us can do, the little things at a time. Anybody close to finish it? Man, this table and these two front tables, you all, this the tables I would probably sit to, the competition tables. The intense ones, it is intense. And they are eagerly going. Almost there. So all of those words, as aforementioned, we can find straight across our curriculum. And then when we go even to grade 4, we look at ocean resources, we look at the weather tools, we're using the rain gauge and the barometer and all those different things. All these things have to do with water. We look at, in grade 6, they are big on conservation in grade 6. She scared me and all. She found all of her words. Can you start up and read all of the words, all 19 words? She's still marking, look. All right, so let me see if you know your curriculum, starting with aragonite. Which grade level would aragonite be mainly in? 4. That's grade 4, grade 6. Mr. Abel, anything? Grade 6, yes, because we teach aragonite from grade 4, in grade 4 as well as in grade 6 as it relates to ocean resources. How about rain? From grade 1, that is correct, because, and I heard the word, it comes under what? Precipitation. And simple as that, rain. When I ask my child, what is precipitation? But guess what? They should be able to connect rain from grade 1 to precipitation by the time they get to grade 4, because it's a form of precipitation. Let's get to know our curriculum. Get to know the curriculum. H2O is all over the curriculum. It's all over the curriculum. So now we're going to see, how do we really bridge this gap? How do we really bridge this gap? First, like we said, use the curriculum. Use it. Use the curriculum. It's tedious to be like, well, I want to do all of this and I want to do all of this, but that's where my second point comes in, building PLCs. Can anybody tell me what it's a PLC? It's a term it's usually used in the United States and around the world. Professional learning. Thank you very much. Professional learning communities. Ms. Johnson, she tipped on it earlier today. Teachers are known for being what? Who can tell me? Being what? One M word. Mean. For real? That's what they say all around. All teachers mean. They don't like to share their resources. Yeah. But guess what? We got to break that. That's a gap that needs to be bridged. That gap first, and probably, like you say, you got to break it up some more and then bridge it. And then bridge that. But that's a gap that needs to be bridged, and we can do it. Strictly from these PLCs, these professional learning communities. Guess what? All of us have strengths and weaknesses. I build on my strength, and I build on you bring your strength to this. All of us didn't have been making 1 million PowerPoints a day. But we do me, and we like share. We don't like to share. Me and Ms. Johnson was teaching grade 4. We were teaching grade 4. Why I gotta do? We teaching the same pacing guide. We got the same topics, but why do both of us have to do 10 different resources just for one day? One day is one day worth of work. But if I have math, we teach math straight through, and usually that concept is built upon. Somebody got the reading straight through. Somebody's, okay, you say reading is every day, math is every day, so they heavy, so I'll take family life and social studies, and I'll take science and arcade. We can bridge those gaps. We need to break that stigma of teachers in the Bahamas being mean and build those professional learning communities. The next thing we need to do is use technology effectively. We use it, but some of us ain't using it effectively. I still have persons asking, what is a workbook on live worksheet? How do you really use quizzes, and how do you do this, and how do you do that? Quizzes is vast in that it even has a section for lessons. Guess what? You ain't got to create a PowerPoint. Quizzes have it for you, and it have the games in it. And we're going to take a look at briefly at a slide of that just to show you where to go. Next, build a vocabulary like we just did. Bridge those gaps in building that vocabulary. Integrate. Integrate as much as possible. Don't just teach something in isolation and leave it. Science, we only have it 1 hour a week, so it needs to be integrated as much as we can. Be teaching volume in math, that's water all over. Teach those concepts. And then lastly, hands-on experiments. I love experiments. I love to get dirty in science. I love when things blow up, but we're not going to blow up anything today. We're not going to get too dirty. We're not going to get dirty today, because I saw children picking up rocks, digging in the dirt. We do it all. So we're going to, now that we're on our experiments, we're going to jump into some experiments. And all of our experiments have to do with water. Yes, our water. So all of us have our plates. Every table have their plates. They have a candle. They have some type of lighter substance. Now for the babies, you might say, oh, let's use a lighter. But some of you have some matches, okay? We're big enough to use matches, but I do believe that we need to train children how to utilize things in a safe way. We baby our children a little bit too much. But in the States, they on Bunsen burner, and from grade 4, I think they're using Bunsen burners. But we all don't like the match. Teach them in a safe and calm environment. All the children can use it. You have to teach them. We have to teach them. All right, so first things first, each of you have food coloring as well. We know the color that water is usually, right? Water is usually what? If we were to put a color to water, blue, we would usually say like water is blue if we were to put a color to water. However, I think there's about one group that has blue, but the rest of you have different colors. So we're going to be creative in this. And that's where the creativity comes in. Be the artist, that artist in you. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to fill up your plate with water. Don't overfill it now. You can take the candle off. No, next one. Fill that plate with water. Now you can change, you can add your coloring to it, whatever color. I have my blue here. And we're gonna see, who can tell me what's happening as you drop that? What's that term called? Mixing, but give me a high school term, a junior school term. You remember diffusion and osmosis them in grade 7 and 8? So you can use your hand, like I say, dirty. Food color is, it could wash off. So get a little dirty, mix it, mix it, mix it. I intentionally not put nothing in it because I want us to be able to get dirty, let the children play and touch. Use their senses inside and see that's the little bougie crew, they got their pencil, mix it, they won't get their nails messed up. And we'll have some children like that. So now we're gonna take our candle, right in the middle there. It should be able to start. After we get our candle, we're gonna light it. Use whatever substance you have. Whatever lighting substance you have. That one may take a millennial, this one, unless the wick is out of it. Be careful. Oh, the breeze blowing now. Now when we want light stuff, the breeze wanna blow. This one is Bill Fire. She's Bill Fire. Yes. Yes, you can. I can get you scissors if you wish. Oh, you can cut it.
Thank you. You gave me that extra fuel.
See, teamwork make the dream work. Miss Swan is Bill Fire. All right, so quickly as that fire is going, so I don't want Miss Swan knows there's fire to get out. Anybody else? Anybody else? You're going to put the jar over the candle. We're going to see. That's going to defeat the purpose. Your lid? All right. So what you're going to do, you're going to put that jar, the bigger jar, right over your candle. Hi. Use this one. And guess what? When it comes to experiments, you have challenges that you have to play that you can say afterwards. And what are some things that are challenging us right now? The what? The wind. And just like you, some of these kids, you'll be amazed what they can do. And they will come up with innovative ways to get that flame lit. This one cutting candle, pulling out the wick a little bit longer. And guess what? They will get it going on. Use the creativity. That's what science is all about. Pulling out that creativity. Teamwork going on. So yes, are they ready? So once you would have gotten your candle lit, you're going to place it directly over it on the top. Just place it over it. Don't be afraid. Some of them are afraid that the light is going to go out. And if you notice, you should have some bubbles going on. This one, they're excited over here. And then you're going to notice what happened. Don't mind the light going out. You're going to tell me what happens. It's over there.
The water rolls in the jar.
Can I get a fry?
I was going to ask you. You have to pull it out with more.
Oh, okay. I could have gotten you another candle. These ones got some big situation going on. I can give you all one. And if you notice, my candle is still on. My one is still on here. So it's slowly going, and my water is just about gone. The water is just about gone. So the purpose of the coloring, so you can actually see the water moving. So I'm going to let you out this group my candle when I'm done. So I want you to be able to get this. Pardon me? So who can tell me what this have to do with? Who can tell me what does this experiment have to do with? Just brainstorming, they're brainstorming. And for those of you who want to get it, once you want to see your water or once you want to move your vessel, that water will work. So let me give you all this one. Yes, they all are new.
I tell you that.
Y'all one are still rising. Yes, that is true. Now put your bottle over it. So did y'all get y'all on the work? Y'all water rose. How about the group in the back here? Anything? These ones excited to the point their water's gonna probably cover their candle at the time by the time they finish. It does have to do with heat, and it has everything to do with pressure. The pressure on the outside was more condensed, so that when that pressure built up, as that, a lot of people say, oh, because the oxygen gone. But oxygen have a slight part to play with it. But when I look at this experiment, these ones still brainstorming the experiment. When I look at this, I think about the tides and the tides. Thank you very much. In grade 4, we teach about the moon's pull on the tide and how the moon's pull on the earth, and that's how we can tie this in. That same way, that pressure on the outside of that plate that builds up on the inside once that oxygen has diminished, that's the same way we can tie that into the pulling of the tide from the moon and the earth relative to that. See, now we thinking now, hey, connect the dots. Love it. Yes. Yes. And that's why I used a bigger vase for my own, because I wanted it to, y'all to really see it. You can utilize this with any vessel. A cup, you know the little glass cups you use at home, it has to be glass because, of course, heat and plastic don't mix. So you can utilize, and these things right at home. Everybody have a candle, a glass, a plate. These are the plates I get on right on my kitchen. We have these things. Use them at home. We ain't got to go to the store for everything. However, our next experiment, we do have to go to the store a little bit. But some of you may have shaving cream at home. So you can either use that same jar or use a smaller jar. Get some water in that. We're going to go to a next experiment. So that one will be like upper primary. So now I can go to my grade 1, 2s, and 3s. You can fill it up, just leaving space a little bit to the top. And we're going to use our same food coloring again. So the only thing we're taking out the candle, but we're adding in shaving cream. So 2 experiments virtually using the same items. And these are items we can find at home. If you bake, you usually would have food coloring. If your husband shaves, you'll usually have some type of shaving cream, or just go to the store and buy a Gillette. All right, so once you would have gotten your, look at this one done. You see, we have some children just like that. I say squeeze it in, yeah. She done squeeze in a food coloring in her water, and some children is being just like that. They done jump the gun because she is excited about science. Swan is excited this morning. So I'm going to come around and I'm going to fill the top of your water. So now you can tell me, what do you think this is? Say a Sunday, I love it. Oh, I hear in a cloud. I hear in a cloud. You can need another color. You can need another color. You probably can. And for this purpose, I probably should have brought so we can see the difference. And that's the beauty of science. Always try to use something against. Not yet. Follow my instructions. They're excited, bad. So yes, we have our whipped cream, we have our water. Now I heard this group over here, they said it reminds them of the cloud, and exactly that. Now, we talk about rain, we talk about precipitation, and how children is be like, when you're flying through the cloud, you'll be like, well, where the water is. Now let's see how we can get that water. Now we're going to use our food coloring. And like we said, we know water is typically blue. But because they don't only sell blue in the pack, and you literally probably have to buy like 5 packs for $4.92 just to get a blue. So be creative. So now we're going to drop, just little droppers. And we're going to see just how eventually, if you leave it, the food coloring, you use your different color there. This is the Sunday going on. The food coloring should eventually go through. Probably check some holes in there somewhere. Put it to the sides just to make sure, because it will take a little. Look, they ready. Look.
Making blue.
Oh yes. How we make them? That's it. That's it. Color mixing going on here. Some color mixing. So if you can see my own. My water done start dropping. I know why y'all only start yet. So we see, this the rain falling down. So the children are able to see, the rain coming from the clouds on down. And if you want to be extra creative, you can draw one sun, let them cut out one sun and stick right on the side of that glass to show the whole water cycle. We see precipitation, we see the water cycle. The sun enables them to see evaporation. I got this, look like one strawberry sundae going on. That's there, so they're moving a little bit. The thunder, powerful, the thunder stopping it a little bit. And if you want to, you can probably make a way to get your colors down a little bit, you know, like the thunder is break up the cloud. These ones got this. See, look, I know what they're doing over here, but their own waking. It be the blue. And that's the thing with experiments. And then you figure out, look, she draw her sun, that's it. Then you figure out what works, what doesn't. You look at the hypothesis, what can be changed, either time, the amount of shaving cream, the amount of food coloring. You look at what works and what doesn't. These ones got everything going on over here. So simple things, and guess what? Afterwards, you can wash your hands. We ain't get too dirty today. Hands can wash. And we probably might could use friend wipe or this antibacterial hand sanitizer that we got out of that purse. So see over here, they're working a little bit. Their water is changing color. And that's just how rain is formed. You could teach them, this is just how rain happens. Rain don't come overnight. It builds up and builds up and builds up, and then it bursts through the clouds. And that's, see, we lack of patience. That's the whole idea of it. The rain don't just go up and come down. It builds up over a period as the water drops get heavy and heavy, and they form together, and then the clouds burst, and we get, after those clouds bump up against each other, and then we get rain. All right? So, basic experiments we can do with things found in our home, or we may need to spend a couple extra dollars, and we have two simple experiments. We like the H2O experiments. So let's say H2O, let's go, go, go. Let's say H2O, let's go, go, go. H2O, let's go, go, go. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So lastly, just want to show you where to go. I took a screenshot of it. Go to the last. Just a screenshot of where you can go to find those quizzes lessons. So usually when we go to quizzes, we will see top and quizzes and the same, and you see this big new here, this purple new? Teachers say don't read that, you know. Once you click right here, this is literally the first 3 lessons, full-on lessons. And I just typed in water. That's all I typed in, water. You can type in ocean, whatever you want, whatever topic. Right on quizzes, just about all of us should have an account. And guess what? The slides are right there already prepared for us. They have objectives. And you can go through and you can even edit some of them based on what you want. So we don't have to reinvent the wheel. The wheel is right there for us. Let's work smarter this year. Ms. Laubel always said that she ain't mind not reinventing the wheel. Let's work smart this year, but still let's try to have some fun. It was hard, but guess what? We still can put these things into our classrooms to have exciting lessons. So thank you for your time. And coming on down to show us just how water and plants interact with each other, we have Miss Johnson with putting down roots. So let's go with Miss Johnson. She's going to come now to bridge that gap in another scientific topic. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Earlier when we did what the research said and we talked about bridging the gap, I mentioned relevance. Connecting what the kids are learning to what they experience every day. How many of you have had a chance to take in your surroundings? Or like the saying says, stop and smell the roses. Can anyone name some of the plants that they see in this yard, in your schoolyard, in your yard? Hibiscus. Everyone goes to the hibiscus. Any more? Poinciana is a familiar one. Palms. Anything else? Yellow elder. All right, so I see some botanists in here today. I have some plants I want to show you, and I want to see how many of you can identify the plants.
I don't know.
Sometimes we can tell a plant just by its leaf, right? But then there are some plants we need other parts to tell what the plant is. For example, when I moved into my home, I had this tree, and for about 2 years, I didn't know what kind of tree it was. I saw the leaves, and I could not identify the leaves. It wasn't until something grew on that tree that helped me to identify what that tree was. What part do you think grew on that tree that helped me to identify the tree? The flower, very good. Anything else? The fruit. For me, it was the fruit. So I discovered I have a soursop tree. All right, so let's take a look at the screen. What type of plant is this? We all know hibiscus, right? But do our students know that this flower that they see almost every day is called an hibiscus? Sometimes we take that for granted. We assume they know. I assumed my kids knew what a poinciana tree was. There's one in the front yard. There's one in the backyard. There's a painting in the front room. And my kids did not connect that the poinciana that I said the word and that tree in the front yard was the same thing. So sometimes we have to make that connection for them. Next slide. You don't sound too sure. Poinciana, we're used to seeing that long seed, right? But because we have a close-up on the flower, it's a bit harder to tell. What's this one? Bougainvillea. It's all around us. If you look over there, there are bougainvilleas. They're all around, and they come in a multitude of colors. Next slide. What's that one? That one? Anyone? Pardon? Lady in the Night? No, there's one right over there. Do you see it? Anyone? This plant is so familiar, literally, you see it everywhere, right? And yet a lot of us do not know the name of this plant. This is called the bridal bouquet, a bridal bouquet. So that plant is called a
Bridal bouquet.
Now you know, right? Next plant. So this one is a vine now.
That's morning glory.
That is what?
Morning glory.
Why do you know that? What grade do you teach?
But that's, I think that's
Grade 5?
Bush medicine. I know we do that in grade 6.
That is the
we did in
morning
grade
glory. It's a vine that grows on the fence, a nice violet purple flower. In grade 4, we teach indigenous plants. So most grade 4 teachers can identify that plant because we teach it, but it's all around us. Why can't students identify it? Because it's in their yard. So we want to bring the yard into the classroom. Next one.
Yellow elder.
So what did it for you, Miss Swan?
You have all of that in yellow elder garments.
We have that all.
It's also
Yes, it's our national flower. Yes, it's all around, but a lot of kids do not know, cannot identify it. They see it in their schoolyard, and we teach the national flower is the yellow elder. But do we point to the yellow elder outside or show them, that's the yellow elder right there? Let's not take for granted, let's make those connections. So that's a bit of making our lessons relevant. Bring it home. So when we teach plants, and we teach plants across the curriculum, from grade 1 straight to grade 6, let's not be afraid to bring the plants in the class, either in the form of pictures. Now, Ms. Pascal talked about not reinventing the wheel. I reinvented the wheel, and I went taking pictures all over the place, stopping in people's yards, taking pictures. I looked quite silly. And then I went online, and I'm like, but this picture is so much better. It's online. Why can't I just use the online picture? And then I went into my collection of calendars. Aren't those pictures just beautiful? And so why work hard? We have calendars, we have online resources. Let's use those resources. And we have other teachers who may have created a PowerPoint on it. So look before you make, right?
right.
All right, so I brought in some plants from the good folks over at Fox Hill Nursery, so let me put in that plug. Fox Hill Nursery wants you to know they will work with you, talking about that collaboration. So if you have any projects or any assignments you want your kids to do, let them know ahead of time what you're planning, and they'll make sure they have everything in place for you. They'll order it up for you, all right? And so I want to see who can identify at least one of the plants on my table. Just one. Pardon? Impatience here. Now here's the trick. Some flowers go by more than one name. Now I do not know that by impatience. I know it by two names, but that impatience is not one of them. What about this one? What do we notice on this plant? It has a fruit. Very good. So what is this?
That look like
Oh,
bell pepper.
It's a bell pepper. It's a green pepper. Very good. All right. So in the spirit of quick experiments and student engagement, I have a small experiment for you to do. Sorry for moving. This right here. Okay. So in grade 3 and grade 4, we talk about seeds. I'm coming back. We talk about seeds, and there are parts of the seeds. Who knows the 3 parts of a seed? Ms. Samaru? The seed coat, embryo, and the cotyledon. So everyone gets a seed. And what type of seed am I giving you?
It's a bean.
It's a bean. Extra points for who can tell what kind of bean?
It's lima bean?
No, not lima bean. Pinto, who said that? Very good, pinto bean. My favorite kind of soup, pinto bean soup. It's a sweet bean. All right, so we are going to dissect this bean. What did you notice I had to do with this bean in order for us to dissect it? We soak it. I just put a piece of napkin overnight just to loosen the bean up. Now, if you happen to forget, because remember, 2 o'clock in the morning planning, we forget some things. Peanuts work just as well. A pack of peanut from the guy on the side of the road, we can find that seed coat, we can find that embryo, and we can find that stored food. So I want you to use your fingers, dissect your bean, and find your embryo. Found it already? You need another bean? All right, so what would be the complication with the younger kids trying to dissect this bean? We don't want them using knives or sharp objects. Anyone else having a trouble pulling it apart with your hands, with your fingers? All right, so I want you to be able to identify the 3 parts of your seed. Got it? Anyone ready? All right, can you stand and show us each part, please? Seed coat, very good. Cotyledon, very nice use of vocabulary word. The embryo, very good. In the lower grades, grade 1, grade 2, we use the word embryo, even though it's a baby plant. We want to get them used to the word embryo. Now, cotyledon we don't use in the lower primary yet, right? We give them stored food. Very good. So this is a very quick assignment, hands-on, and it engages the student, especially with the peanut. Every time they eat a peanut, they're going to remember there's a baby plant inside this peanut I'm eating. All right. One other way we can bridge curriculum gap is by that big I word we're encouraged to do every year. knows that I word? Integrate. Science is just not enough time. Science is something that really should be taught every day, in my opinion. And so the best way to get science concepts across is to integrate. Science lends itself to reading comprehension. Which topic can you use to teach the lesson comparing and contrasting? Which plant topic? Sorry. Any topics on plants, comparing and contrasting? Very good. Seed and non-seed plants. Monocot and dicot. Indigenous versus medicinal plants. Very good in the grade 5. What topic would you use to teach sequencing?
Germination.
Germination. Very good. Anything else?
Photosynthesis.
Photosynthesis. Very good. One more. Which topic would we use to teach cause and effect? Cause and effect. Thinking of plants again. Pardon? Flower to fruit. Very good. And flower to fruit also goes with sequencing as well, the life cycle of a plant. Anything else? Cause and effect. Pollination. Very good. Germination when we plant that. And once again, photosynthesis. Now, do you agree with me that writing is one of the hardest topics for our students?
Yes, it is.
Do you agree with me that writing is one of the hardest topics to teach for teachers?
Yes.
Anyone? Is it just me? Anyone else has problems teaching writing? But like Bridging the Gap says, those things we are not comfortable with, repetition is key. We have to keep trying. And so today you are going to become writers, and you're going to model writing for your kids. Each of you got a half of a chart paper, and we're all going to become children's book writers. Now I've listened and I've read enough children's book to know we don't need a big, long essay to give a story.
No.
All you need to do is keep it short and keep it colorful. And so I became a children's book writer over the week. I'm going to share my story with you. My story is called Sunny the Sunflower. Sunny Sunflower likes to play. He likes to stay in the house all day. He sits on the couch and plays his game until he hears Mom call his name. Sunny, did you drink some water? Mom, I really rather not bother. Then one day, Sunny wasn't feeling well. Mom said, Sunny, you don't look so swell. His head was drooping really low, and his green parts were all now a dull yellow. Maybe Mom was right to say I shouldn't stay in the house all day. In some water, Sunny foot he dipped as he took a long, great sip. The outside Sunny spent the rest of the day, as in the sun, Sunny did play. What is my story about?
Plants not getting enough water.
Very good. So even though the kids could relate because they stay inside all day playing games and watching TV, this plant needs what?
Water.
Water and sunlight. So instead of telling kids plants need water and sunlight, write a story to get your point across. And can't you just see the illustrations in your head with Sunny? Now, I'm not the best artist. That's where the art teacher would come in, or my kids. But can't you just see Sunny just yellow and head down in a pot and dipping his foot, the root, to drink that water?
Yes.
I'm glad you can see that, because now you're going to write your story. I want each of you to come up with just maybe 5 lines and a picture. 5 lines and a picture. Tell us a story. It could be about any plant concept. In grade 1, we have what plants need, how plants and water interact. In grade 2, we talk more about plant parts and their function, what the leaf does, what the stem does, what the root does. In grade 3, we go into seeds and parts of the seeds. Grade 4, seed and non-seed plant, germination. Grade 5, photosynthesis, medicinal plants, indigenous plants. And grade 6, flower to fruit. So you can pull from any concept. And in 5 minutes, we're going to share our stories.
Yeah.
All right? 5 minutes. In grade 1, we used to create those big flip books. Let's bring the big flip books back. Let's bring the stories back. You need some, all the buckets, the markers were in the buckets. Okay, the markers are coming. My battery fell. All right, while you are working on your story, I don't want to disturb you, but I'll talk about some of the different experiments you can do that relates to plants. We're all familiar with the seed germination. It's using the bean plant again, or the bean seed again. Plastic cup, napkin, all inexpensive items, all things we can find around the home, not even plastic cup, we can use a real cup, or egg carton, and we can germinate a bean plant. Then to show how water moves in a plant, we can use the celery experiment, or we can use white carnations, food coloring, and water. The food coloring colors the white carnation. All right, we also have the experiment with the leaf, how plants need sunlight. If we take black construction paper and cover one leaf of a plant, it can be a plant you have in your class, just cover it with black paper. That plant turns yellow and it shows students that plants need light. And then with phototropism in grade 6, if you put a plant near a window and the rest of the room is dark, the plant will bend towards the light. So all of these are quick experiments. These little plants are very inexpensive in any nursery. And it allows for hands-on. All right, 3 more minutes. I see group 3 working together, one writing, one drawing. Are you able to escape from that? You double check. Slow again. Go down. Right All right, let's wrap it up. Just 1 more minute. All right, if you're done, I have a game posted. It's not posted. I have a Blue Kid game set up for us to practice vocabulary. For those who are watching and listening, you can go to bluekit.com, BLOOKET.com, and type in the code 289193. You don't have to sign up, just join game. That's bluekit.com, BLOOKET.com, and type in 289193 and join the game. This is a very exciting way to review concepts, review vocabulary. Pardon? 289193. bluekit.com. All right, anybody ready to share? Oh boy, group 3 is ready. At this point, we'll just share works in progress. All right, very good.
You have a poem here, and it's Little Plant, How Do You Grow? Little plant, how do you grow? All of your parts, let them show. Roots in the ground, stem stands tall. Leaves stretch out, your beautiful flowers show to all. Little plant, all of your parts I now know.
Woo! That is awesome. Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Our next group.
Okay, we have a, hold that partner. We have a little story. And a picture to go along with it. First grade. I'm a tiny seed. What am I? What should I do? Can someone help me? Look, there's some soil outside and a warm light. I will go inside the soil just to see what happens. With just a little bit of water and warm sunlight, I grew. Now I'm a plant.
Woo! Awesome. So from this group, we learned parts of the plant. From this group, we're learning germination. Very good. Next group. All right, we have 3 players waiting. All right. Just, if you can just share what you've done so far in the interest of time, because we have one more presenter. Yes. Okay. All right, so this a little disclaimer. They're not quite finished, but this is their work in progress.
Jackie grew up in a poor settlement in Farmville with her mother. Jackie's mom lost her job during the pandemic. They had one cow, which they sold since there was no money. All she got for the cow was one corn seed. Jackie knew it would take some time for her corn to grow. She quickly placed the seed in soil and watered it. The next day, to her amazement, she saw the roots grew down in the soil and the shoot grew up. Then the leaves opened up. She looked at it as it grew. Then one day, she saw a lot of blooming flowers. Her corn will be ready soon.
Awesome. So here we go into the upper primary now. That sounds like a chapter book in the making. All right, our last group, you ready to go? No? All right, so we have quite a number of players. If you want to join, you can still join the game. Like I said, Blue Kit was something I discovered later in the school term. But when I say everybody love it, my kids love it, my students love it, my colleagues love it, I am an advocate for Blue Kit. I go around tell everyone, play Blue Kit. It is awesome, all right? And it's even more fun when you play with your kids. So we'll just play a short game. Your objective is to try to steal the goal from the other players. But in turn, you have to answer questions, and if you get it wrong, you don't get to choose the chest, all right? So the most gold after 5 minutes win. Good luck. So on your screen, you should be seeing the question. On my screen, you just see who's in first and second place. Now let me warn you, whoever's in first place is going to get attacked. They're going to steal your gold. Now when it's me, I always put my name as Miss J. They say, get Miss J, get Miss J. They love this, my students love to steal my gold. See, some stealing already happened. Thea swap gold with Hepburn. And all of the questions come from the planned curriculum from grade 1 straight to the grade 6 curriculum. So the questions will range in complexity. I see Shannon just took first place. How did Shannon get first place? She stole gold? Oh, she doubled her goal. The good thing about Blue Kit is it corrects the students. So if they get the question wrong, they won't be able to choose any chess, but it will show them the correct answer. And the questions repeat themselves over and over. Remember, repetition is key. So they will have a chance to answer the same questions over and over again. Javon Bain, somebody get Javon. Javon of 120 gold. Y'all get Shan. Get Shan. Hepburn stealing gold. Ramming just swap with store. The game allows students to join late, so sometimes they have problems with their internet and they drop and they have to come back in the game. They're still able to come in and join, and someone who just joined a game could win. All they have to do is pick a swap chest and swap with the person in first place. All right, and at any time, you can end the game, and the winner is Javon. Congratulations, Javon. Coming now on Ways to Bridge the Gap is our Captain Planet. How many of you remember that from watching that as a kid? Captain, you remember that song? Captain Planet, he's a hero. Gonna take pollution down to zero. Gonna have to. Well, I don't know that either. But Captain Ronick is coming right now to tell us how we can save the environment. Please welcome her as she comes.
I hope you remembered that Captain Planet song, because today I'm going to invite you to be an environmental planetaire. Who's ready to become an environmental planetaire and help to protect the environment like Captain Planet? Yes, I know. Yes, you're all excited. We've had such a wonderful day, and that is what we're all about. Now, all through you've been hearing about the sustainable goals, and you can see that we have gone through quite a number of them today. And in this session, you will hear more about the Sustainable Development Goal of clean water, which all of us wants to have each and every day, right? Yeah. Because we know some people don't have any clean water, do they? No. No. And then we're also going to look at consumption and production. Now, I hope you brought your garbage with you. Did you bring your garbage with you? Did you bring your garbage with you? All right, so let's get our bag of garbage.
Can I go get my bag?
That's mine. So, I'm going to challenge you very quickly this morning to a trash building tower challenge. Now, in this challenge, you're going to need your garbage, anything you can find from around your home. You can see all of these different items here. Oh my goodness, it's so much. I think I'm just going to do this. Woo! What about that? Just dump it all out. Now, on the count, I'm going to count down to 1, and I'm going to give you 1 minute, because I'm looking at my clock, to start your challenge. Now, the person who builds the tallest tower will win this challenge. So in 5, get ready, 4, 3, 2, 1, begin. You have 1 minute. Work with your partner. You know, in science, we always ask you to cooperate. Cooperation. I'm sort of like on my own here. Standing now. Oh! 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop. All right, let's take a look around. Oh, we look like we had a little accident over there. And let's see. Now I'm going to eyeball it, as we say, but in science, we would have taken an accurate measurement and see which person has the tallest. But for time, I'm going to eyeball it, and I'm going to say the winner is Table 1. Woo! Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yes, they did a wonderful job. Good job, everyone. So we can see that instead of just throwing away our trash or our garbage, we can have lots of fun with it. And this is what science is all about. Having fun, and in having fun, we're learning how to take care, how to protect our environment. Now, there are many ways that we can care for our environment, which is our land, the water, the air, and we know that pollution, when we put harmful substances into the environment, can be very harmful to living things, like ourselves, like wildlife, other living things that we share our environment with. And then we have all those pollutants, garbage, bleach, oil, all of these things that through all of our actions every day we're doing to our environment. So as an environmental planeteer, we want to do a lot better and care for our environment. So we are going to investigate very quickly the 3 R's. Let's see who's smart out there. What do the 3 R's represent in science?
Reduce, reuse,
oh,
and recycle.
y'all too smart. Y'all too smart. Excellent. Yes, reduce, reuse, recycle. Yeah, so we're going to investigate that right now. And on your tables in the green bins, you should have some trash, yard trash. You know, the fancy word is garden, but in the Bahamas we say in the yard. So you should have some yard trash. And then you should have some food scraps from your kitchen that you would normally not think about and just throw it away once you're done. Okay? But we're going to use this today to help the environment. We are going to make a compost, a natural material that can be used to help plants do what? What do we want plants to do? Grow and grow well. When we get our fruit trees, we want it to be nice and sweet and juicy, right? So I want you to take your Ziploc bag, and we're going to start making our compost. So here we have some eggshells, onion skin, apple peel, potato peels, and banana peels. And then we have some dried leaves from the yard. Oh, and also a tea bag. See, everything is usable, reusable. So you can layer it, give you a minute, crunch up some of those dried leaves. No particular order. Put some onion skin in there. Some eggshells, just crunch them up. Going to open up my tea bag. Dump that out. Add some potato, apple peels, piece of banana, and then some soil to this mixture, a little bit of water. And then you can just give it a little shake, mash it up. Okay, I would have added my soil. Mash it up, and then over a period of a week, you can watch it and just leave a little air, a little bit. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so just leave once you have mixed it all up. Give it a good shake. And add just a little drop of water. Just leave it open a little bit, or you can also use a straw so it can get air. You can get air into the bag. All right? And so you can watch this over 2 weeks. In about 2 weeks' time, you should have a nice compost to put onto your garden plants or any plant that you have in your yard at home. And you can even do this, of course, at school. Okay? So, environmental planetaires, you're on your way to helping to care for our environment. Very good. Let's hold it up. Give it a shake. All right, very good. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Now, there are so many other things that we could do to show how we can protect our environment. But because of time, we're going to move on to one last thing that I really want you to do. Of course, there are some other activities that we can add to our presentation. And you can get these done on your own with your kids at home and your students at school. Now, there's a paper. You should have a paper. Okay, I know you're all excited about your compost, but we can put that down now and get your paper out for me. And you're going to make a print of your foot. And we're calling this our environmental footprint. Yes, we want to see what you are going to leave behind as it pertains to our environment. So I did mine a little ahead of time. Okay, so this is what it would look like. Now, I went around this, so my foot is not exactly this size, because I went around it with a bold marker, all right? But the goal is for you to make your footprint, and you are to put inside of your footprint all of the ideas that you have about how you, as an environmental planetaire, can protect our environment. So I did mine a little ahead of time, okay? And then you can cut it out and display it on your refrigerator like we put everything up on if you're at home, or on our bulletin boards at school. And this will encourage your kids every day that they see their footprint. It will give them a reminder of their responsibility, their job as an environmental planetaire, of how they should be conducting themselves each and every day. So I see some people are still at it, but like I said, we're going to allow you to have all of these wonderful activities, and as to how you can locate them on our presentation. So we're going to wrap it all up. We're going to wrap it up. It's chemistry. It's chemistry. We're going to wrap it up. Woo! Let's go, people.
We're going to wrap it up.
Yes, we're.
It's chemistry.
Oh, let's go.
It's chemistry. It's chemistry. We're going to wrap it up.
All right. Let's head for It's chemistry. Woo!
All right, so we're going to turn our attention to the screen, and this is called, anybody like Jeopardy? Like I said, I'm a gamer. Yes. Jeopardy, love it. So there's a website called Factile, and as an educator, you can free account. I don't pay for nothing, okay? So just only Zoom I pay for. Zoom is the only thing I pay for. But other than that, every other website is free. So Factile is spelled right here, F-A-C-T-I-L-E. So this is a website where you can go to create Jeopardy games. So I've already put in 4 groups because we had 4 tables. I don't want no buzzer mode. My kids, we go crazy for this. You can auto-select, or you can go through and pick whatever you want from plants and fruits and animals and all kind of stuff. So I auto-generated for the space of time. So we have 5 categories right here, and I only did up to 300 points. So you can choose, picture. We know how Jeopardy work, right? Okay, good. So let's go. We're going to start. And the thing about it is, all you literally have to do is share your screen. The children doesn't need a link, anything. You as a teacher control all of this. They already made games on it too. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. So let's go. We're going to start. No, this table been going too long. Let's start with the back table. Let's start with the back table. My boys are smart at this. My girls just go like for 100 points and stuff. My boys just go straight to 500. So let's go, Miss Tonya Starbell's table. Pick a category and the amount for me, please. Oh, sorry, my apologies. Mystery of matter, H2O, putting down roots, Captain Planet formulas, and from $1 to $300. So the topics that we did, the mystery of matter, H2O, putting down roots. Pardon me? H2O for 300, big bucks, big bucks. What is precipitation? Uh-huh. That is correct. And if you know, okay, so y'all will be celery, zebra, talib, and jabba-jaw, all right? So if you notice, the teams are right to the bottom here. So if they got it right, all I simply have to press is the tick, and they automatically get that score. Y'all can't see because it's fine. The score change, it generates everything for you. So water that falls down from the sky, rain, snow, sleet, hail, etc. Continue. Let's go zebra. That's y'all at the back. Formulas for 300. Ooh. NaCl is the formula for what? That's it. That's a scientist. My brother-in-law does this thing where he goes to Wendy's drive-thru and say, can I have some sodium chloride, please? And they don't realize that sodium chloride is salt. So try that next time. So they got that correct. Let's continue with Talib. I know who's Talib, but that's his name. Mystery of matter for 300. What is the universal solvent? Jabba-jaw. This is an interesting name for this group, Jabba-jaw. Let's go, Jabba-jaw. Let's go, let's go. Okay. how can you be a planeteer? So as you notice, you can have open-ended questions, and you as a teacher can take whatever response you want. So let's go. Give me a valid response, ma'am. I love it. So if you look at, you can control your responses. Any valid response will do. Let's go. We're going to do one more round. Let's go, celery. All right. What does the term 3Rs refer to? Reduce, reuse, recycle. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And guess what? Let's teach these children these vocabulary. Zebras. Y'all scared of putting down root C. Let's go, zebra. Formula for 200. H2O is the formula for? That's it. Them zebras ain't playing with y'all. They say they are scientists. They are scientists. And you can't really hear the volume, but it gives you a ting, and if you get it wrong, it gives you a bang. It's buzz loud, loud, and it deducts the points. Talib? Roots for 300. State one scientific topic that we can use to teach compare and contrast. Also, so any valid response. That's it. And last but not least, let's close it out, Jabba-Jaw. H2O for 200. Name one mineral that we use in the Bahamas found in the ocean. He give you the answer. And that is correct. A salt or aragonite you can use. All right. And you can just end the question. You can go straight to what we call a final factor, like Final Jeopardy. Yeah, see. And then if you want to, you can set up that question for that. So it's really good. You can use it as a culminating activity for, say, the month. I usually have Fun Fridays. So on Fridays, we usually play this game. Sometimes I let the children decide, you want to do math, grammar, whatever, and they decide and they go at it. So they have teams, or most of the times they won't play boys against girls. So thank you for your time. And we now welcome Ms. Lakia Williamson Brown to close us out in this session. So thank you, my live audience, as well as my viewing audience, for joining us today.
It's chemistry. It's chemistry. Chemistry is all around. From the clothes you wear, the way you style your hair, from the sky down to one more time. It's chemistry. It's chemistry. Chemistry is all around. From the clothes you wear to where you style your hair, from the sky down to the ground. And so once again, we say thank you, and we hope to see you next year as we dive into science and we bridge the gap of learning through chemistry. Woo!